building now. Uh, no, it's probably a pretty late night getting back. How late was it when y'all got back from Tulsa?
We rolled in about 2 o'clock, so not that late, but it's still late.
Yeah, yeah, and those things happen when we have away games that are 3 hours and change away from the house. So, right off the bat, well, let me get your thoughts on last night's game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we played well. That Holland Hall's a good football team, but we played well. We just didn't play a complete game of football there. Coming right out of halftime, we went out, took the lead, and offensively and then defensively, man, gave it right back up on a big run. They sped us up, and kids didn't get lined up quick enough, and we didn't get the calls into them, and they kind of gashed us right there on a big run, and the rest of their stuff, they moved the ball on us fairly well. Like I said, that offense, that really good offense with that quarterback, senior quarterback, and some of those weapons over there, they were really good. That's a good team, but they hit us on three big plays, two posts and a fade ball, and truthfully, the rest of it was just kind of leaking and kind of getting there at times. Just working their way down there outside of those three big plays. But I mean, our defense, they played well at times, but we have to find a way to play a complete game. Same thing offensively. We played a good game, but I have to do a better job making some calls in the third or fourth quarter right there, and just making sure that we can move the ball a little bit better. But we're seeing some growth right there. If that's a top 5 team right there, hey, we're right there in it the whole time.
Absolutely. I mean, it was quiet on the home side after y'all scored that touchdown to take the lead 17-13. It was actually kind of quiet going into the half, where 13-10, and then knowing that you get the ball back and you executed and you were able to get that lead briefly there in the third quarter, and then it kind of unfortunately went downhill as they scored, 2 touchdowns and got the safety to retake the lead, and it kind of continued on from there. But let me give you stats from Friday. Pretty balanced. Idabel rushed for 196 yards as a team. Threw for 180, and actually, there's one negative play that would have had y'all right at 200 yards rushing. McCollin had 19 carries for 93 yards. Jordan Lewis 7 for 30 and a touchdown. Quincy Pond 12 for 70 yards. Ja'Shawn Dixon 1 for -4. Benny 1 for 7. So 40 running plays for 196 yards. Dixon was 14 of 24 passing for 180 yards. Benny was your leading receiver, 8 catches for 138 yards and a touchdown. And then actually had Titus Baker with 2 catches for 22 yards. Val Golston, a 16-yard touchdown reception. Also a 14-yard reception for Ja'Shawn Dixon, if you want to have a look at that. Yeah, it seemed like in the second half they decided to go no huddle and, speed things up. And, I know that's got to be hard to prepare for, especially still relatively early in the season, just getting into district play.
Yeah, they jumped out. They jumped out on us quick, especially in the second half. They jumped into the no huddle stuff, and they were just going. And our kids were expecting huddle, and so when they got lined up and they looked and they were on the ball, we should have got the same thing in right again, or made the call quicker a little bit from the sideline. That's on us as coaches, but the kids. They lined up. We made some calls late in the second half. We had the kids right there to make a play in the backfield, man, and it's the kids is right there to make the play and just couldn't make the play. When those are things that sophomores and juniors and young guys will get better at doing, is just making the play right there when it's right there to be made. But I'm yeah.
In comparison to Holland Hall, I mean, you return the quarterback, you return running backs, receivers, good play up front on both sides of the ball. That's a fairly veteran team. They've established what they want to do offensively, defensively. They got a good special teams unit. Their regular kicker hurt himself on a field goal attempt, and then you bring in the backup kicker, and he boots it in a PAT. So that's that's just a veteran team that's really established. But I mean, it's not. You hate to lose, but I mean, it was a good effort last night, especially going into district play, and then you got Stigler coming to the house Friday, and it was homecoming, big weekend ahead here in Idabel. Your homecoming, your fall fest, and everything like that. So, have you really had a chance to look at Stigler on film or anything like that?
Yeah, I seen them a little bit earlier in the season. I seen their scrimmage from this season. They got their tape in right here last night. So, looking at them, they're really big up front. They're huge up front.
Yes.
So they bring back, I think, 4 or 5 of their big linemen they had last year. I think they bring in all 5 or 6 new weapons, though. They're all 5 or 6 new kids I'm saying not new kids. Their quarterback's a transfer from Tahlequah for the head coach's son. Sophomore quarterback, though. And the rest of their weapons are all, kids that were in the farm system over there, JV kids or varsity backups last year.
Right.
So they didn't play much last year, so they're getting some new game time experience themselves. So as long as we can handle our own in the trenches up there, man, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, especially getting thrown into the fire Thursday night against Lincoln Christian. That's tough sled for just about anybody, regardless of class. Last night, also, Eufaula and Mojo, that ended up having an interesting finish. Mojo wins 28-27. Any clue on what happened there at the end, or did just Eufaula come back and came up short? Because I know they had the lead all game, and then we look up towards the end, it's a 1-point game.
Nah, I looked at that score last night, and that was surprising to me. 28-27 game right there, and I wouldn't be surprised that Coach Newton and Eufaula got those guys ready to go and fired up at some point to go make a play. They're gonna play hard at all times, and I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know what's up Mojo right there, but
right. Definitely. Well, I think I'm going to try and take a moment and check that game out on film somewhere or another. I think they stream on YouTube. I know they did last year, so at some point over the weekend, I'm going to check that out and see what happened, because you thought that Mojo would have ran away from that one. I'm not sure if somebody got hurt or just credit to Eufaula on making a comeback. And also, Shakota won big over Locust Grove. I think that was 55-14. So congratulations going out to Shakota. Also locally, Broken Bow won big in Glenpool. I think we passed by their bus on the way home, because our crew, I think we may have been some of the first folks from Idabel to get back. I think I walked in my apartment about 1:15 or so this morning. So, and then let's see here. Broken Bow won, Valiant won over Antlers. I think that was 35-18 or 35-19, something like that. I think that nobody scored in the second half. I'm not sure if they just played their second string or
28-15.
28-15, okay. And then Heveler beat Hugo by 10, and that game was in Heveler. So that's all your local scores. Looking from across 3A real quick, see if there are any games. Oh, stand corrected. Shakota beat Locust Grove 80-7.
Yep.
Wow. Heritage Hall beat North Rock Creek 48-12. Seminole beats Lone Grove 34-28. Manford over McLeod 41-13. Bristow beats Victory Christian 51-28. Plainview gets a win over Purcell 42-21. Sulphur beats Perkins Tryon 42-20. Perkins Tryon's been a pretty good team these last few years. Kingfisher over Paul's Valley 42-0. Cassia Hall beats Inola 34-7. Here's a good one. Sequoia Claremore beats Veneta 27-21. Here's a close one. Jay beats Verdigris 12-9. Bear Hill shuts out Cleveland 58-0. Anadarko all over Star Spencer 63-0. And then the Thursday score, Lincoln Christian beats Stigler 49-0. Did you hear of any scores that were surprising on your way back, or just this one? Like, example, Virginia beating Florida State last night.
Yeah. I told Coach Freeman on the way up yesterday that Virginia could probably beat Florida State, but High school scores that kind of surprised me though. That Shakota 80-7 versus Locust Grove. I may have heard Locust was going to be down, but I didn't think Shakota was 80 points up like that though. So it'll be interesting to see that film when I get my hands on it down a couple weeks down the road from now. But right now, just trying to focus on Stigler and get the kids prepared.
Right. Yeah. Definitely get them focused. I know it's you get your first district game at home. It's also homecoming, so there's bound to be a distraction here and there. But this is definitely a winnable game and get you back into district race because, once you get out of your Lincoln Christians and maybe the Holland Hall, it's a toss-up. If you, get a win or two on the road, because we have to go to Modro and then we also have to go to Shakota, not to just assume we're going to lose to anybody, but, there's some openings to pick up wins in district play. And, we can be right back in the playoff mix and be playing in November. And that's the name of the game is to make the playoffs and keep that momentum moving forward. So let's see.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance. Realistically, I think we can go get out here and rattle off 5 straight here and make the playoffs here. I think that it's truly possible. And, our kids we're going to look at the film, watch ourselves, turn around, watch our opponent, and we're going to look at it and evaluate and just be like, hey, we're there. If this is a top 5 team in the state, you got to play like top 10,
yes.
And nobody's going to give you that respect. You're going to have to go take it and earn it every night. But we have a lot of good chances, opportunity to go out and win some ball games, steal 2 of them on the road, and turn this thing around, make the playoffs. So,
absolutely. Any college football you're gonna check out today?
I'm probably not gonna watch my Florida Gators. I'll probably just leave them.
Oh wait, they got Texas today, don't they? So are you more of a Florida fan than Texas? Because we got OU Texas here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm more of a Florida fan than Texas. But if it's Texas OU playing, I always root with Texas.
I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I'm saying? So let's see who does Southeastern have today.
Southeastern has who we just talked about last night. Southern Ass.
Southern. Oh, okay. We got some.
Storm.
We got a couple of Idabel kids up there for track.
Zaretta's up there for track. I think Jacayla Hearn. So. Yeah.
Hey, best of luck to them once track gets going. And let's see here, OU fans, we got a bye week. I know the big news. John Mateer had his hand worked on. Successful surgery. We'll dig more into that next week as OU has a bye week. They'll be taking on Kent State next Saturday in Norman. I think that is a 3:00 kickoff, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll definitely get more into that. It's a bye week. Also, I think the game to watch today is going to be Bama and Georgia. I think that is an evening kickoff. So that's definitely going to be worth looking into. All kinds of college football will be kicking off here in the next hour or so. You'll be able to watch all day. There's a night game to check out. But as far as us, I'm going to head back to the house and maybe find something to eat, get some more rest, and get ready for this week's game against Stigler. And we'll have you back here Friday morning. Be sure and check out the check out the Warrior Minute on Monday. We'll air that on Monday mornings, 7:50, 9:50, 11:50. And then also the junior high, they play Monday. They host Valiant.
Yes, sir.
7th and 8th combined. Yeah.
Yep.
7th and 8th grade combined, and then JV. So it'll be 2 games here at Warrior Nation Stadium. So if you're not doing anything Monday evening, come check out the Idabel Middle School teams. They look really good against Broken Bow, and then they'll be taking on Valiant, and then the JV will also take on Valiant Monday evening at Warrior Nation Stadium, 5:30 kickoff for the junior high game. So there's nothing else, man. I know this is short, but we're going to get you out of here. And thanks for tuning in to the Saturday Morning Coaches Show right here on Idabel's First 96.7 KBL. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes open for things coming through the KBL Sports Facebook page. And, hey, have a great weekend.